Welcome to pattern making class. I'm Annette Julie, and today we are working on a side front princess seam jacket, and we're making the lining for this piece. And please watch the prior videos so that you can be up to this point and ready to go. So here's my side front princess seam panel jacket, and we have a grain line, and I've marked a grain line on my piece of paper so I can trace this off. I also took my side front that I originally made in one of my prior videos, and I marked where the old dart placement was. This is important. So go back and draw that line in of where the old dart placement was from your side front that doesn't have seam allowance. Roughly it's about 2 inches down, but then the angle is also about 2 inches up from that notch, but please find that placement. Now we're ready to copy this off and make our changes. Let's go ahead and line up the grain lines up at the top of our side front. And then down here at the bottom, get that grain line matched. Now we're ready to go ahead and trace off the pattern. And you can do this using your ruler along the straight lines. We're at the shoulder, trace the shoulder. Now I'm going to trace my front princess seam. I'm going to bring the notches. Down over the bust area. Down our front princess seam to the hem. Let's bring those notches out. And I'm also going to mark where I'm going to trace that line off. Let's get down to the hem. Let's go ahead and take those notches, transfer them. Now I'm working on my side seam. I have that notch there for the hem. And a waistline. And this portion of the side seam is straighter. And now we're going to move into the armhole. Armhole notch. We're going from our low point of our shoulder, copying our armhole, and I believe we've copied the whole thing. Let's check it out. Notches, hem, side seam, and this one line that we're going to use to slash. Let's bring the notches in. And feel free to put U's over them so that you can see them. So that you know it's a purposeful line. There's that waistline. And there's our hem. Okay, this looks good. So this is going to be our jacket. Side, front, princess seam panel. And this is going to be the lining. Cut to lining, and we have the date, and this is our side front princess seam panel lining, and we can use the green pen to either underline or write in lining. Okay, let's go ahead and start making some changes, because this is going to be our lining and it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit shorter. We're going to form a pleat with the remainder, but we're going to go up 1/2 inch. At the low point of the shoulder, we're going to go out 1/2 inch. Connect that shoulder. At the bottom of the armhole, we're also going to go up 1/2 inch. At the side seam, we're going to bring that out 1/4. And we're going to end up blending it down here to 0 at the hem. So you can be out that 1/4 inch. And then we'll blend it into our hip curve, giving ourselves a little bit more room. There's our new side seam. We went out 1/4. Now we're going to fix the armhole because we extended it by 1/2 inch. And we're going to bring it back in and blend. And then we're going to raise this up here at the bottom, that 1/2 inch. But we're also going to bring that back in and blend. And it gives you a very strange shape of an armhole, but that's what we do for the lining. We went out 1/2, we went up 1/2, we went out 1/4, right, all the way down, and here we're at 0. So there's the shoulder extension, armhole raise, side seam. We brought that out. Okay, hem we shortened, and now we're going to deal with this. Now you know you have seam allowance all over, and your pattern still has it. So it's still everywhere. It's still here on the side. It's still here on the princess seam. It's still here by that apex. The shoulder. And you can cross your corners to show you that it's there. It's still here with this change that we just made. It just moved out. That's all it did. So you can draw it in and remind yourself that it's still there. And you can certainly erase those other lines. I'm going to leave them in here so you can see the changes and not be confused. Okay, we move that out, move this up, and now we're going to slash from the side seam all the way to where that seam allowance stops or starts, and then from the other side in as well. And we're just going to stop, and then you're going to grab yourself a little sliver of some paper, and we're going to spread this back open, and it's going to look like the original dart that we put in there, but we're not going to treat it as a dart. We're going to treat it as a tuck release. Let's go ahead and tape this down, and we're going to end up spreading this. So I'm going to tape one side, and then now we're going to spread this the original amount, which if we come back to our side front here, that overlap of that dart pickup, how much is inside of there is 1 1/4. Okay, so this is going to get spread 1 1/4. And then we're going to close it. Go ahead and weight that down. Now, feel free to go ahead and trim some paper if you have excess, because we're going to fold this like it's a dart, even though it's not a dart. We're going to pleat the top leg down onto the bottom leg, and look, it went away. Now, you can use your tracing wheel right now, right? Or you can use your scissors to cut out that portion. We'll put notches here. And instead of this being a dart, like I said, it will be a tuck release. And correcting my grain line for my upper portion. And that is the end of the side front princess panel lining. And I'll see you in the next video.